I'm John Keehan, and straight ahead on WVU News, I'll take you to the Candlelight Vigil, where the citizens of Morgantown came out to show their support for the people of Ukraine.
I'm Allie McDaniel. March is Women's History Month, and straight ahead on WVU News, I'll tell you about one student who is making her mark with music.
I'm Daniel Woods. Prices on used cars like these are through the roof over the last year, and I'll tell you coming up what to expect the next time you make a trip to the dealership. Our Emmy Award-winning WVU News starts now.
Ukrainian citizens in Morgantown hold a community candlelight vigil for peace. I'm Daniel Woods.
And I'm Allie McDaniel. Even as the world watches a new strain of the Omicron variant, travel in the U.S. is on the rise once again, with an estimated 150% increase in air passengers over this time last year.
These stories and more on WVU News, an Emmy Award-winning newscast produced by television journalism students right here at West Virginia University.
It's been more than a month since Russia invaded Ukraine, and millions of Ukrainian citizens are still fleeing their homes in search of safety.
Here in Morgantown, Ukrainian students and faculty at WVU say they're struggling to find ways to support their families at home. Reporter John Keehan attended a recent candlelight vigil to show solidarity for the country from thousands of miles away.
About 100 people gathered in Woodburn Circle on WVU's campus for a candlelight vigil in support of Ukraine. Christina Pelcher is a PhD student at WVU and shared with people gathered her fears for her friends and family in her home country.
You know, until recently, many people here, they didn't even know where geographically Ukraine is located, and we just show who we are. We are Ukrainian people, and we care about Ukraine. We lay down our bodies and our spirits for Ukraine.
From poems to prayers to the playing of the country's national anthem. Ukrainians at the vigil say the event is one of the only ways they can help their families overseas right now.
What do you need? What can we do? And they tell us, well, you cannot do much but support us and talk about it and tell everybody what's going on.
The United Nations estimates that over 13,000 people have lost their lives since Russia has invaded Ukraine, and over 1.5 million Ukrainian refugees have fled to neighboring countries. As the conflict continues, those numbers could increase, and Ukrainians in Morgantown are asking, what will America do to help?
Your grandchildren will ask you at some point, what did you do in February 2022? You did nothing. You supported Ukraine or you were against. Believe me, that's why it's important to think what you will tell your grandchildren.
John Keehan, WVU News, Morgantown.
Ukrainian citizens in Morgantown are raising funds to support refugee families. Email the address at the bottom of your screen for more information on how to donate.
A new Omicron variant, BA2, has made its way into the U.S., Allie, and CDC officials say it will soon be the dominant strain infecting Americans.
But as we enter the spring break season, Daniel, the new strain doesn't seem to be slowing down families taking trips across the country. Jessica Riley joins us now from Studio B at the Reed College Media Innovation Center to tell us more. Jessica?
Allie, Daniel, despite the new variant spreading in the northeast and west, the country is still experiencing lower COVID case numbers than we've seen during most of the pandemic, and that's offering travelers some relief. Popular destinations in the U.S. and abroad have started to loosen their travel restrictions, and local airport officials say they expect to see more people coming through their doors. The past couple of years have left people with a new sense of urgency to get out and check off a few things on their bucket list, especially for Becky and Cora Rogers, who look forward to places opening up in full force.
We are very excited to get back out there and get on the road. We're going to Disney today and hopefully Yellowstone this summer. So we're looking forward to getting back with family, grandparents, and traveling.
The Rogers are just one of many families who are planning trips. World Tourism Organization experts predict a 58% increase in travels through the third quarter of 2022. More than 109 million people were expected to travel this past holiday season, making a 34% increase since just the last year. And experts say it's only up from here.
Morgantown Municipal Airport Director Jonathan Brable says flights have seen a great increase from fall 2021 to now. And if we follow these protocols, it'll allow us to travel more.
I would say, when you travel, just be safe, take your precautions and enjoy. It's fun to get out and go explore places that we haven't been able to do in the last couple of years. So.
According to AAA, flights, tours, car rentals, and hotels booked for the spring months to high tourist areas are up 211% over the last year. Pete Gall says he enjoys taking his private plane and doesn't feel too concerned anymore.
I'm comfortable with it, probably much more so than many people are. Maybe that could come back to haunt me. I don't know. I guess I take my chances.
While things are starting to feel normal, traveling still poses a high risk. Mask protocols and vaccine requirements vary upon places, and experts say it's important to keep up with these.
Mask protocols and vaccine requirements vary from place to place, and travel experts say to check your local government websites before you go. Allie, Daniel, back to you at the Waterfront Studio.
Thanks, Jessica. While declining COVID cases may be making it easier for folks to travel, supply chain issues resulting from the pandemic are still causing a spike in the price of another form of transportation, used cars. I visited a local dealership to find out how a national shortage on new vehicles is impacting the local market. As a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, a microchip shortage has led to a drastic decrease in the availability of new cars. This has had a major effect on the used car market, according to AutoMax pre-owned vehicles owner Jared Hartsock.
Well, there is a short supply of new cars. And when there's less new cars, that means they're going to want to buy used cars instead, because that's really the only thing left for people is try to find some low-mile, clean pre-owns. And honestly, that's really helped our business.
With the national vehicle shortage continuing into 2022, dealerships are scrambling to find any vehicle they can get their hands on. Cat West was offered over $40,000 for a vehicle severely damaged in an on-road accident.
I definitely did not expect to get back what I paid for it, considering it was wrecked. But I did know that prior to wrecking it, I did get a quote that was over over the car's value amount. So I knew that I'd still at least get a good chunk of change out of it.
With the national new car shortage, the average price of a new vehicle has jumped by over 12% in the last year. But that's dwarfed in comparison to the cost of used vehicles. The average cost of a used vehicle in the United States is up 40.5%, according to the Federal Bureau of Labor Statistics. Despite the spike in prices, Hartsock says there are some silver linings for car owners who are looking to make a change.
We're buying them below market. Then as that price spikes, we're still selling them way below market price. And now the nice thing for the customer, though, is the trade values have gone up. So they're getting more for their trade and still buying the cars at a lower price. The Federal Bureau of Labor Statistics reports that the average price of a used car in the United States is $28,000. The price of used cars has risen faster than even the national inflation rate, which itself is at record high levels.
While used car prices are hitting a new record, a student here at WVU is setting one. Carissa Lee will soon become the first Black woman to record her version of this West Virginia anthem, making strides for her gender this Women's History Month.
This rendition of Country Roads is played by WVU music student Carissa Lee, a Provost Fellow from Alabama who has played the flute alongside household names like Billy Ray Cyrus. She says music has been a part of her life for as long as she can remember, thanks to her parents.
Both of my parents put us in a program where we learned our specific instrument, and for me it was flute. And that started when I was 9 years old and it has been going on since now, which I'm 27 years old now.
After nearly 20 years of being a flutist, Carissa found love in an instrument she never knew she had, her voice.
Lee's consultant, Tommy Lopez, knew she had a voice that needed to be heard and had the perfect song in mind to do it.
You know, when she told me that she had fallen in love with West Virginia, I knew that the best way for her to show her love to the state was for her to sing Country Roads, and so I encouraged her to just sing it for me, and when she started singing it, it was just amazing.
Lee is now taking her talents to the studio and will be the first African-American woman to record a rendition of Country Roads, a song that now holds a special place in her heart.
It started to connect with my personal life, and the lyrics and the words started to connect with what I was seeing and loving and making sense of. And it's all rolled out into where we are now.
She plans on utilizing multiple instruments in her rendition, including the piano, flute, and of course, her voice.
Country roads. Lee says she will start recording her version of Country Roads this year and will share a release date on her social media accounts, which you can find at the bottom of your screen.
That's pretty incredible, Allie, and I know I'm excited to hear her version of such an iconic song.
Me too, Daniel. Coming up, the pandemic has increased stress for so many of us, but we'll bring you the story of some Morgantown residents who are using a new hobby to cope.
I am Carly Burkhouse, and straight ahead I will tell you about a program that is helping Morgantown residents reduce their stress through controlled movements and slow breathing.
Since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, Daniel, there's been a 25% increase in diagnosed cases of anxiety and depression, leaving many people looking for new outlets to deal with the stress.
And exercise has been one of those outlets, Allie, including an ancient Chinese tradition that's becoming more popular in our area. Carly Burkhouse is here to tell us more. Carly?
Thanks, Daniel. Tai Chi is a martial art, but one that relies on slow, steady movements that flow from one to the next. It's proven to reduce stress and anxiety while increasing flexibility and balance. And in Morgantown, it's helping residents cope with the impacts of COVID-19.
Tai Chi is an ancient Chinese tradition. And Morgantown resident Brenda Ziem says since starting the class, it has taught her many new things.
Learn to be patient. You learn to follow instruction. You learn to relax and let your body move and not just your limbs.
Tai Chi uses a variety of slow, focused movements as a form of exercise and a way to practice mindfulness. And during the COVID-19 pandemic, it's become more popular in our area.
Experts say that 77% of people struggle with stress. Research has proven that the slow and gentle movements of Tai Chi helps reduce the stress.
Osher Lifelong Learning Institute in the Shack Neighborhood House hosts the free Tai Chi classes every Saturday morning.
Roll back, that's beautiful, everybody.
Dr. William Kohler says the Institute wants to help individuals learn a new hobby while also improving their mental and physical health.
But beyond that, the mental aspect of being in the moment, which is what you have to do when you do Tai Chi, there's no future, there's no past. You're really in the moment. It creates a mindfulness that's very, very helpful mentally as well as your physical body.
For Ziem, these Tai Chi classes have improved her memory and balance, but has also allowed her to meet new people.
These Tai Chi classes are free and open to the public and have separate classes for beginners and more advanced participants. In Morgantown, you can find a class every Saturday morning until April 29th.
Thanks, Carly. Before we go today, we'd like to congratulate fellow WVU Reed College of Media student Mary Roush, named only the 3rd ever female mountaineer. That's it for this week's edition of WVU News. I'm Allie McDaniel.
And I'm Daniel Woods. You can visit us online on our website or watch our shows on YouTube. And please follow us and our reporters on Twitter. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.